And we are back like we never left. Journal, how are you doing? Let me put my glasses on. Journal, how are you doing? Because I'm doing good, and I've been doing good. Let me just share some things with y'all. Well, with my journal, of course. My channel is growing, and I don't like it. I think my biggest. I looked at it just now. I got like 7 views. I just uploaded the 420 video, and today is 423. So I'm slacking. It's Thursday now, and the first whenever I recorded, it was on Wednesday. It was on Monday. If I recorded, it was on Monday. Monday, yeah, it was on Monday, 420. And I noticed that I'm so disconnected that I didn't even know that it was. Is it 420 where they smoke? Uh, is that like National like Weed Day or something? I'm so disconnected that had I had no clue what was going on. Yeah, it's 420. I had no clue, literally no clue until I looked at the date and I was like 420. Let me name it 420. But yeah, how are you, bro? I'm doing good as well. It's been a few days. Let's just do a recap. I can't the days they all blend together and I didn't want to make a video and talk about nothing, but also I didn't want to have too many nothing days in a row and then not have just let the days fly by. So 3 days later. All right, so Monday, I recapped Monday. So take me through there. Take me through there. All right, so fast forward to Tuesday. We're at Tuesday. We wake up early. Did we wake up early? I don't know. But we went to Gassery. First day using might have been yeah, it was the first day using the iPad in Gassery. That was interesting. I'm trying to remember. And it was leg day. Had a great leg day. I ended up doing like the 50s or something, walking up the incline, lunging. Oh, my getting calls right now. My family's coming to town soon. Uh, yeah, it's crazy. All right, I'm trying to remember Tuesday. I've been reading. I've gotten a ton of reading done. Still in the Secret Life of Bees. We're like 80 pages deep now. Yeah, we're 75. I'm gonna read before I go to sleep. Hopefully, have a ton of studying to do as always. But we've been very consistent with the studying. We've been studying in the new biology building. We've been studying in the geoscience complex. We've been studying in empty classrooms. We've been studying library. We've been doing a lot of studying, consistent studying. Because if I'm three, I'm am I 3 weeks? I'm 3 weeks, 2 weeks out from my big final exam. I'm talking organic, physics, micro. I'm 3 weeks out for the major exams. And if I keep on stacking these days and stacking on top of the exams that I have next week, which are like the lab practicals and lab type finals, if I stack on top of those and then just, accumulate all of this knowledge, then I should be good in the long run. And it should all come together in my head. So yeah, the past few days have just really been a blur of studying and reading, and then working out and going to class. Finals is so weird, and the build up towards the finals are so weird because you take your you take your third exam, and then you're expecting a final a few weeks after, but there's this gap that I'm in now where you're learning new information while you're also moving closer to the final. So you have to grab all of this knowledge that you attained. Yeah, let's say attained that you from the beginning of the semester, which was 4 months ago or less, a max of 4 months ago. You're grabbing all of this old information and bringing it back while also adding new information on top of that to all bring it together and then face these cumulative exams. So I don't it's it's definitely challenging, especially whenever you get into the higher level courses. It gets more and more challenging. But I'm motivated and I'm ready for this challenge. And I'm grinding my butt off. But let's go back, rewind to Tuesday, leg day. I had my sister had sent me this thing. It was like a pre-med. This doctor was coming, talk to the students and whatever. So I came on it on accident because I know the biology building, the new building, it closes like the upper floors that I study on closes at like 4:30. So I go down to leave and it's like 4:30 ish, and then I see all these people in like watching this dude present, and I'm like, oh, it must be this. And I came by it organically, so that's how I know it was meant for me. And the thing was, I wasn't even gonna leave because nobody else around me was leaving. I'm like, is the floor closing or not? So I just left, and then came across that, and it was interesting. But I feel like the more information and the more that I can visualize where I'm headed, the more motivation I have to get there, and uh the more I can visualize like my life in the future and like my goals. I can visualize everything. The more I see and the more, I learn. So it was definitely interesting watching this playoff game. And you see my glasses. Cleveland versus Toronto. Playoffs are good this year. But yeah, gaining all this information, I'm not gonna say my plans because okay, that brings me to my next one. I'm not gonna say my plans because I don't want to get the satisfaction or the little dopamine button in my head that I'm pressing of. So I watched this video. It was about keeping things to yourself, which I've addressed it in some old videos about keeping things to myself because there's this phenomenon that I watched the video. It was this guy, I forgot what it's called. I think it was like Do in Silence, or let me just get the exact name so I'm not out here blabbering. The video's called Tell No One. And this guy, he's like, do you ever feel like after you tell people like your plans, they just fall apart? I'm like, yes. Then he basically just goes on this spiel about like how he always does that and it falls apart, and how he came to the realization that whenever he just keeps his mouth shut and just grinds and builds things in not internally, but I don't have the words. Eh, He just does it himself, solo. He just does it himself, and it's authentic because it's coming from you. It's not coming from you're not you're not you don't want the approval of someone else to help you go. Like you're self-sufficient. You already have your motives and you're doing it by yourself, and you don't need the outside noise because he said the outside noise can kill your dream before you even get started. And I feel like that's important. And I figured that out by myself. I figured that out before I watched the video, and that's why I've stopped. What I'm saying, sharing my future plans and my goals and the things that I'm doing like on the pursuit to these goals, like keeping it to myself because is my face getting rounder? I feel like I'm not mogging right now. This is the camera. It's the camera. But yeah, I've learned myself that to keep things to myself and build it by myself and chase by myself, and I don't need the approval of anyone else but myself. So, and that's just where I'm at. And the video put it in the perfect words, just the way that I needed to hear it, you know? Because things, I want to be a free, I aspire to be a free thinker and to do things myself, you know, and not, definitely not wait in line, but not need the approval of anyone else. So it's important for me to keep things to myself, especially whenever it's things that I care about. So that's where I'm gonna be from now on. Like it's not just a one time thing. Like I'm gonna keep this, I'm gonna keep that. I'm keeping everything until I build. Whenever I build, then you can see it whenever it's your time to see it. I'm not showing my hand no more. But yeah, that was a major thing. And this book, I'm not even gonna read it because it's basically everything that was in the Texas speech. But what I have been reading, The Secret Life of Bees. And the thing that I love about reading, my imagination just runs. I'm almost, I'm just getting started. I'm like one third, close to being one third. But my imagination, like whenever I'm reading, it's like I'm not reading, I'm seeing what's happening, and I love that. It's just like a reading. It seems like a reading flow state whenever I'm just turning pages and I'm seeing it like a movie, but I'm reading it and I'm seeing it like a movie. But also, I've been hitting this studying flow state. Like you know how I talked about the flow state of being in the exams, and whenever I'm in like a physics exam, I see the I see the question, and then like the formula appears because I've repped it out so many times. I've been in the studying flow state to where time is just flying by. I mean, totally flying by. And like I'm just I'm just gaining all this knowledge and my mind is just churning and churning and churning and like squeezing and like developing. It's developing. My mind is just developing and the time is flying and I'm learning. And then I hit the flow, like that's just the flow state. Like whenever off of F1, the movie, he's like there's this time whenever he's driving and then his heart rate slows, then like he said like his pupils dilate or something and he just feels like he's flying. That's how I feel academically. But like I've said previously, I keep on referencing previously, but I need to do this from the beginning of the semester. If I did this from the beginning of the semester, I would be where I should be. But it's all right. We got we got time to do better, and we will do better. But had this chat with my friend. Oh, that was Monday. I already talked about that. Yeah, she did terrible on her MCAT. So uh, hopefully I don't have to retake it. If I have a strong MCAT and I get my grades up, that I'll be undeniable. But hopefully I can. Oh dang, I forgot about the draft. I turned it off after Mansoor got drafted. Shout out Mansoor. Jordan Tyson to the Saints. Wow, two offensive tackles back to back. But yeah, screen time has been down. I've really been shutting out the outside world and just focusing on the books. Feel like I feel like it's easier to do in the springtime for sure. I'm definitely gonna do it from now on though. Like springtime, fall time, anytime that I'm academically pursuing greatness, I need to shut it out. Even if it's not to the extent that I am today, like I just totally don't respond to people anymore. Even if it's not to this extent, it needs to be at least during the week. Like during the fall, I can imagine myself like, like socializing on weekends and watching football games and, like doing all that good stuff. But on the weekdays, I need to be totally dialed in, totally wired in. But I feel like I needed this drastic lock in to show myself what I'm really capable of, and like not only what I'm capable of, but what is necessary to get where I want to be. And this is the bare minimum. I'm thinking about starting to wake up at 6 for these next 2 weeks. Because if I went to sleep, I went to sleep at 11 o'clock, and I woke up at 7, and I had like a 95% recovery and like an 80% sleep performance. So if I go to sleep at 10 and I wake up at 6, it should ideally be the same if I, replicate the conditions and like it's possible is what I'm saying. It's definitely possible. So I'm thinking about doing that. And if I can convert that and replicate that next year, it'll be great. It'll definitely be great. But I might do that. I might. But other than that, it should be a fun weekend. But I have a ton of work to do. Still eating chicken and rice. Still grinding. Put one. The bed is made. The bed has been made. You got to put one foot in front of the other every day. Keep on grinding. Max Struess, brick, rebound, Harden, three, brick, Max Struess, rebound, Donovan Mitchell, pull up three, brick. Okay, so that's all. That might be all. Just we got 2 weeks left, and then off to the summertime. This weekend should be good. And keep it silent. Build organically on your own. That's whenever it's authentic. Whenever you do it by yourself with no outside pressure. Keep going. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.